Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, November 19th, and we're going to dive into our prep here for the ES today. Just a quick reminder that derivatives trading is inherently risky and past performance is not indicative of future returns. To recap on yesterday here, were you expecting the sideways move inside of Friday's range yesterday? Do you know where the market's going to change? And if not, we're going to dive into that today and see where everything would turn. Yesterday, we mentioned that over 59.10, we would look for a move higher to target 59.40, and we stopped just shy of that. But with a few nice longs from there with minimal risk. And as expected, 59.22 behaved as our pivot on after the move higher, and it turned into resistance at that point. So we had support on the move up, trying to push towards that 40, and then it turned into resistance, and that's why it was our pivot. The market did stay inside of the least volatile area we had from our flows standpoint, with an inability to reach the $5 billion offer sitting above us and unable to trigger the selling below. Perfectly contained day by the market makers. In the overnight auction here, so in our overnight auction, we had the same move last night as we had on Sunday night. Push up in Globex and a hold sideways into the London Open for a nice distribution move before retracing and coming lower. And we've come right back into that Friday point of control and that big area where we are expecting the next move to come from. From a positioning standpoint, longer term commercials are short based on the COT report, and short term market makers are in risk absorbing mode, which this again, we said this yesterday, but it'll likely change ahead of the big catalyst this week, which is NVIDIA earnings. Market makers that are positioned for NVIDIA earnings are also in risk absorbing mode, more so than our short term models, showing potential for wider moves. Fund managers, we mentioned this yesterday as well. They were underinsured. They added some insurance for Thursday, but are still mostly neutral, which still puts the tail risk right now to the downside. If they decide to buy more protection, as we would expect heading into the earnings or on the Ukraine and Russia headlines this morning, that will bring in some downward pressure into the market. From our flow standpoint here, we have about a $230 million bid sitting in the market if we can get over 59.03, and that is not very much in terms of what we normally look for. The big tail is under 58.71 or over 58.60. We start to bring in $6 billion on the offer, which again, that'll be hard to chew through and would add fuel to the downside. And so fund managers have deployed most of their capital with just 8% sitting on the sidelines. So protection and insurance will be important to watch over the next couple of days. They have a lot of reasons to protect their capital and their clients' capital, and that's what we're going to watch for to bring in that downward pressure. We are still seeing some signs of supply in the market and not much demand as of yet. And this brings a break of 58.77 into the mix. And so that's going to be our big level on the downside that we want to watch. As mentioned yesterday, we are watching for that downward pressure to show up either today or tomorrow. We weren't really expecting that yesterday. It's too early as they wait until the last minute. Just like we've used the example of a storm coming in, they wait until the storm is almost there before they start trying to exit the city. So we will watch for market makers this week to get out of risk absorbing mode in the coming days. And again, if you know how to do that and you have the indicators for it, then watch closely and be prepared for that move. For today, our rotational price action is expected between 58.88 and 59.22. This purple level here, with our pivot at that 59.10. If we get under 58.88, our target is 58.63 with our pivot at that 76 level that we're going to watch closely. And if it gets very volatile, then we're looking for that 58.35. If we get over 59.22, then we're going to target 59.36 as our pivot and an end target of 59.56 today. Have a great day, everybody, and stay safe trading out there.